Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a full review on my Poison collection by Dior. I have 4 out of like the main 6 that have come out in the collection. I am missing Poison Tendre or Tender, the green one, which has been discontinued since like the it came out in the 90s. It's been discontinued since ever. It's like impossible to find. Nor am I deeply on the hunt for it, but you know, if I found it, I'd like it. And I'm also missing Midnight Poison, which I actually did find once in person, and it was kind of expensive, and it would have been a blind buy, and I chose not to get it myself, which I know some of you might be like blown away by or think that I'm insane, but based on the notes, I didn't even think I would like it that much. So don't have those. I know that there's a Poison Girl Unexpected, which is like a further flanker of one of the main 6, but I've never tried that either. So we're just gonna go through and explore the main 4, and I'm gonna give mini reviews that hopefully help you kind of decide which one of the Poison by Dior fragrances works for you. So if you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. All that information and more is in the description box below, as always. And we will go in chronological order from when they came out. So we will start, and I'll let you know where they fall in my 1 to 4 placing as well. We will start with Poison by Dior, which chronologically was the first. And, oh, actually, okay, I'm not gonna let today's random feelings, I'm such a Gemini, I like change my mind all the time, depending on my mood, but no, okay. This is in 4th place for me. It was the first one that came out, obviously, but it's in 4th place for me because I find it actually quite difficult to wear. And I mean that not because it's a horrible scent, but because I find it sort of challenging. It is very dark and plummy, and I know that there's incense in this, and usually I like that, but I'm wondering maybe it's like the combination of the plum and incense with some pretty heady florals. It just smells quite dated, and not in a way that is like endearing or classic to my nose and for my preference. Just something that actually I feel like, and I rarely if ever feel this, but I feel like actually dates me a little bit when I wear it. Like it feels as though I'm not in the age range for this. And trust me, I literally never feel that way. I wear fragrances that are like meant for teenagers to, I don't know, like seniors, and I've always been that way, but this doesn't make me feel great when I wear it. And that's essentially like the #1 thing I'm looking for when I'm wearing a fragrance, is how it makes me feel and how it smells to me. And this rarely, if ever, makes me feel great. However, as a scent, I find it intriguing and I find it interesting. It's very unique. It does, and I've said this before, I think it has an incredible name for what it smells like, because it does smell a bit like what I imagine Poison would smell like in a cartoon or something, because there's obviously a sweetness there and a heady floralness, whereas like I think actual Poison probably just smells vile. But this is very reminiscent of like Poison, what I imagine Poison would smell like in like a Disney movie, because there is something dark and menacing about it. And it really does, I've said this also before, it really does smell like the color of its bottle. It gives me very like dark plum red, like very burgundy oxblood red vibes, and that essentially is what it is. I don't think everyone would fall in the same boat as me, but I would say that this, out of all of them, is the one I would caution the most to sample before you try it. I think a lot of people already know what Poison smells like, but if you happen to not know, I wouldn't have just said like go for it, because I think you should, yeah, you should definitely know what you're getting yourself into. I just happened to find my bottle because I knew what it smelled like before I got it. I just got this bottle at an extremely good price. I don't even know, like a year or two ago whenever I picked it up. No, a year ago, because I've hauled it on this channel. So if I hadn't been in that like perfect place, perfect time, I wouldn't have owned it personally. But every once in a while I'll whip it out and I'll wear it, and you know, it's nice. Like that Midnight Poison, if I'd found it for a better deal, or if I hadn't been buying so many other fragrances that day, sure, why not? But yeah, it's not out of the four, it's definitely in fourth spot. All right, so now we're going to go to the next one chronologically. So I believe after Poison, actually, I think, yes, Tendre Poison or Poison Tender. The green one did come out. I obviously don't have it. And we will move on to the next one, which is Hypnotic Poison. I have the Eau de Toilette. That's just the one I happened to, whenever I picked it up, find for a better deal. But I've tried the Eau de Parfum as well. It's stronger. I actually do really like the Eau de Parfum as well. Hypnotic Poison is my number one. Out of the entire four, it falls in first spot for me. I have loved it for many, many, many years. It is a beautiful almond fragrance that has, it was my first kind of array into how almond, when mixed with orange blossom or some other florals, could smell kind of root beer like. And that's when before I even really understood what I was falling in love with, I fell in love with this. And that's kind of where it began for me, of loving every single root beer type fragrance that I get my nose on. Like, I have not found a root beer fragrance that I do not enjoy, nor do I really see myself outgrowing that vibe. Like, I am ride or die for root beer fragrances. And this very much has that. That being said, it's a lot more elevated and feminine and even more subdued than some of the other root beer fragrances. I feel like this is, I mean, it was the original for me, but it was also like one of the first, I think, that kind of gave off that vibe in the designer world. And I have to give credit where it's due, and it is really, really beautiful. From memory, the Eau de Parfum is stronger, and it is a little bit, it like digs in more on that almond than the Eau de Toilette, but I'm gonna put some more on. Oh my God, I love it. And it does last a bit longer. This has a bit more of like a crisp opening, I find. And again, like when I finish this one, I would very easily just get the Eau de Parfum next time, or even repurchase this. I can't, now that I own this, it took me so long to have this. Like, I would sample it. It was one of the weirdest things where I would buy like all these blind buying like crazy, and then I wouldn't actually pick this up, which I knew I loved, for over a decade. But now that I own it, I cannot imagine being without it, and I will 100% repurchase either the Eau de Toilette or the Eau de Parfum. I absolutely recommend this one to so many people, with the caveat that I feel like if you like very soft, kind of non-perfume type scents, you won't like this. I don't think any of the poisons are like super, I don't know, generic, but this is definitely not a generic one. And there are other ones that I'm going to get to that I think are easier blind buys than this, but this is an easier blind buy than just the regular poison. So now we will move to the next one chronologically, which was Pure Poison. And here she is. I think this is actually the only one I have in the smaller. Yeah, so this is a 30 ml. My Poison and my Hypnotic Poison are both 50 ml, and so is the next one. So this one I have in a smaller bottle. I'm just gonna spray this one to kind of remind myself. This I would put in third spot for me. For a while there, I actually would have thought this would be higher up, but the next one knocked it one spot down. I do really like this, but I can definitely see, this is kind of like the opposite of Hypnotic Poison, of who I think would be into it. This is a very beautiful, clean floral. It smells very white musk and floral to me, and white florals. And I am a huge white floral girl. I always have been, but I know that there are like pockets of fragcom or frag heads that are like very opposed to white florals, or that find that they induce headaches or whatever it may be, or even like white musk kind of fragrances are headache inducing for some people. Obviously, if that's your vibe, then you're not going to enjoy Pure Poison. But other than that, I actually think this is one of the easiest ones, if not the easiest one to blind buy, because it's just safe. Like, if you know you like a white floral and you know you like a white musk and a clean fragrance, this is going to be one of your best friends. It is really, really beautiful. It's soft, it's feminine, but it doesn't sit so close to the skin. Like, I feel like you get some pretty good sillage out of it. And I think it's really beautiful. I think it took a different direction than the other two, because I think the other two, both Pure Poison and Hypnotic Poison, have a quality to them that makes them more unique, and therefore more likely to have like people that are absolutely not into them. But Pure Poison took a more mass appeal route. And yeah, I really do like this one, and I still wear it often, even though it's in third place. It's just because the other two are so high up, but I really, really do like Pure Poison. And then finally, in my second place, which was so unexpected, because when I picked it up blind, and I was not expecting to love it as much as I do. This is Poison Girl Eau de Toilette. So in between Pure Poison and Poison Girl is when Midnight Poison came out. Obviously I don't have it. And after Pure Poison is when that Poison Girl Unexpected came out, which, if you guys have it, I'd love to know in the comments below how similar they are and whether it's even worth trying that one out. But Poison Girl has the almond that is in Hypnotic Poison, but it takes a different tone here, and it kind of, with its florals, again, I feel like there's orange blossom here. The orange blossom here is not too grapey, it's not too green, it's not really too much of anything. It's just nice, and I think it's a little floral and a little sweet. The almond in this isn't quite as root beer kind of powdery like. It mixes in with kind of a brighter sweet citrus opening and some beautiful florals, so that on my skin this is very reminiscent of this specific, and it's the reason it's a very close number 2 for me. It's a very specific lipstick that my mom used to have when I was like a baby and when I was really young, and that memory and that scent is one of my favorite scent memories of all time. I don't know if it actually was a Rimmel lipstick, to be quite honest, but it does smell a little bit like how Rimmel lipsticks smell now. But it was like now, I mean, that was like a vintage lipstick because it was like from when she was younger, and then that was from when I was a baby, and the scent of that was just spectacular. This doesn't smell identical to that lipstick, nor is it very lipsticky, but it has like, it's the first thing I found since that, which we no longer own, that has come even remotely close, and it'll just like always have a special place in my heart. So again, for that reason, I can never imagine being without this. Like, this is so special to me because of that, and it's also a really beautiful scent, and it smells the newest, and it is the newest. Like, it smells the most modern of them all, and that's why I think also it'd be actually a really easier one to pick up blind if you had to, just like I did. And that's what makes me even more curious about Poison Girl Unexpected, because I really was expecting to not be into Poison Girl, and it completely surprised me. And I think it's actually a really underratedly beautiful scent. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Poison fragrance review. Let me know in the comments below which one of these you've tried, especially if you've tried Poison Girl Unexpected or Midnight Poison or Poison Tendre or Tender. Like, I'd love to hear what you guys thought of those. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.